You're listening to 419 Education and Training Need to Connect podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 419 Education and Training Need to Connect podcast. I am your host, Devonna Willis, the owner of 419 and the founder and organizer of the Black Massage Therapist Conference. And today we have a treat. We have Ashley, and she helped me last year in organizing this conference. She was a big part of the conference last year. But before we get into her intros, little housekeeping, or like I said, church announcements. So shirts, here we go. So we have our I Am Black History shirts, and on the back it says Black Massage Therapist. So you can get that online on the website. Also, we're still looking for applications for the business grant. So if you have your own business, it's $1,000. I don't know why you haven't applied yet, or you just didn't know about it. So please apply to this business grant. We have $2,000 scholarships, one from ABNP and also from Your Great Investment. Australia, he's presenting at the conference, and ABNP is one of our bronze sponsors, and they're going to be at the conference as well. We also have a student sponsor. So if you're a student and you would like to attend, we would treat you to this conference for the 2 days, also for the dinner and dancing. This was provided by Massage Prep Massage and School, and they actually donated this. And so we have so many great things happening. So please make sure that you are registered, and let's get this podcast started. So Ashley, welcome, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so introduce yourself to the folks.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm Ashley Urquhart. I am a licensed massage therapist. I own a business in North Carolina called Anna Massage and Bodywork, which we were the WRAL's finalists since 2022. I'm also the founder of MT Banquets, a banquet that is catered to wellness and beauty professionals. So we do nationwide events and award ceremonies. So we are having our next one in December of this year. I also do intraoral TMJ massage therapy and cold stone. So I'll be teaching at the Black Massage Therapist Conference, and I hope that you have registered for my class. I'm really super excited for you guys to come out. I've also served on the council board of the USLMT, which is a great supporter of ours as well. And then I'm just looking for leaders and here to connect. So thank you so much, Devonna, for having me on here.
Of course. So Ashley's busy, and she's like a mom of 4.
Yes.
The twinsies. I can't wait to see them again this year. And so let's talk about that. So she is teaching the TMJ oral class, right?
Yes.
And so because it's just a short amount of time, so it's more of an intro. So tell people what made you interested in going into people's mouths, doing this type of massage, and not being a dentist or a hygienist.
I know, right? My father is actually a dentist, so I'm really used to seeing everything that goes on in the treatment room.
Okay.
That was the very first CE class that I took right after massage school. Okay. And the guy who taught it, I was like, I want to be just like him. Like, he was a chiropractor, he was a massage therapist and a physical therapist. I was like, yeah, he's a dog, right? So I only took 3 hours. And so when I did all my research, I teach up to 14 hours. Okay. And so, yeah, it's a lot of information, but we're going to make sure that it's sweet and simple in this class. And we're going to teach you mastication muscles, the 5 common disorders that people are having with their TMJ. And yeah, I can't wait to teach. It's like my thing. I was teaching every month. And now, of course, since I'm getting busy, it's quarterly, right? And so my last class was back in July,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm getting called to do like classes like in different areas, so in different cities and different states. So I'm really
Okay.
excited to start traveling like you, Dwana.
Yeah, it'll keep you busy for
Yes.
sure. It'll keep you busy traveling. So that's
Yep.
amazing. So for people, if they're attending your class, do they have to have like gloves? Is there anything that they need to prepare for the class when they come?
Yes, definitely get nitro gloves. Nitro gloves are really sturdy and durable. And then I want everybody to just kind of feel comfortable because some people might feel nervous. So if you want to get like aromatherapy, that kind of calms down the mood as well. And of course, like your table sheets and everything like that. But yeah, just make sure that you have your gloves and make sure that your nails are cut down because I've had people that had the whole thing. I'm like, you about to go on somebody's mouth, boo.
Yikes.
So
Yikes.
make sure you have short nails.
Okay, yeah, that's important. We got to make sure we add that portion too onto the website for you to
Yes.
make sure they know exactly what to bring. So,
Right.
well, let's talk about the conference. So, let's talk about your experience last year with the conference and why you talked me into having 2 days this year.
I did talk you into doing
Sure.
two. All right. So, I mean, the first one, we did a lot of work, right? I knew it was going to be easier with the second one. So that's why I wanted you to do a 2 day class because a lot of people are going to be more involved and people are going to want to be a speaker or an instructor or some type of volunteer because I knew a lot of people were impacted just having the first one. And we had so many people there. So you knew it was going to be bigger and better, right?
Right.
So we were thinking about doing double, so they get double the experience, you know?
Right.
And so when people come to a place where that person looks like me, that person is a leader, then they're wanting to be involved in being a leader. You know, and I know last year, we were talking about the percentages of people being in the industry.
Right.
Look at how the growth has, come about because now you see in pictures of all these organizations that came out. Who's in the picture now? You know?
Right.
So we're starting to see the change
Right.
because we made the change to make sure that our voice was heard. And I think that when you make it a 2 day, then people are going to say, oh, we should do like a 3 day. So if you look at different festivals or conferences, how long are their conferences? They could be like extended out to a week. So practice trying to add on another day, it will be easier and easier and easier every time.
All right, that means they're gonna spend more and more money all the time. The more days you add, the
But
more
this is how
days.
this is how you do like your subscriptions or your memberships. So they
Mm,
don't have to spend all that money all at once because that was one of the struggles the first time, I can't afford this or I can't do this. But now you can incorporate different subscriptions if you just want to come to this portion of the conference. You don't necessarily have to go to a class, you can mingle because this conference is talking about building relationships,
right.
and that's one thing that we need to have is support and collaboration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this year, to help combat some of the financial woes or complaints that we have from last year, we did have payment plans. So payment plans and people used them, which was smart. We also had more tiers, right? So we had prepay, we had the early bird, regular, and then last minute. So it just goes up and up. So we've
Mhm.
learned from different, from year to year. So this is the second year. So we're
Yeah.
excited to have changed some of the methods that we've tried from last year. So tell me, what do you think the biggest impact for you when you attended, right? Because this was your first conference seeing all black faces massage
Yeah.
conference, right? So tell me how it impacted you personally, and also what was some of the feedback that you heard that people came up to you Because I knew
Yeah.
people were coming up to the both of us talking to us, you know.
I think I forgot what their names were, but I guess he talked about my speech about dedication.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have to bring 100% no matter what we do. And just showing up in the room, that was 100% dedication. You didn't have to come, but you were there. And what everybody has received, I'm sure they're applying it to this day, right? So me personally, the impact, of course, I was just like we did this, like you put it on and you saw it, the vision, and we were just trying to make sure that everything went out properly. And it was just like I was in shock. I was like in amaze, like, oh my God, we finally here. Like,
Right.
I can't believe like we actually did this. And
Right.
a lot of people were like, yo, when can I buy the next ticket? And so I felt like people need to know like their worth, their
Mm.
value. And that was one thing I stressed, right? Because we're so much in competition with each other. It's like, no, like once you collaborate with somebody, you just never know what you guys can do together.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know who's in the room as well.
Right.
Yeah. And so I've always said I was stalking Benny Bond for like 4 years. Right? And I was just like, oh my God, like the one that like got Benny Bond, like what? And so
Yes.
like I was really like, wow, like I can't believe like there's so many people in the industry that I would have never met because we're always on Facebook land or
Right.
IG land.
Right.
But getting in a room together is just like an amazement.
Right. It was good. It was impactful. It was, it was emotional, especially for me when I
Oh
got on
yeah,
the
we had the
stage.
Kleenex tissues for you.
Right. I wasn't expected to, get emotional, but it is emotional because it's like giving a baby, giving birth to a baby. And you gave birth to two right before the conference. So
Oh yes.
so basically giving birth to three babies.
Yes, yes. And that was funny because you saw the baby in your dream,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I
Yeah.
did. I
You
did
knew
see.
it
Right.
happened.
Right.
Mhm.
So it was great. And I know this year is going to be even better. We have more speakers as we're meeting people every week and introducing. And I'm excited. And even just the interaction about it has improved, and the industry is recognizing. And we have some amazing sponsors that got behind us this year, and also amazing vendors and exhibitors that we'll have. So please make sure you bring some change, because
Yeah.
these people are here to support. They're supporting the conference and they're supporting you, and they have great items. So I just want to be clear with that, because it takes a village, and we're talking about building relationships this year. It's not only building relationships with us together, but also those who want to support and see the growth of this conference. And so it's exciting. It's exciting. So let's get to some questions. So, how important is community support in the success of Black massage therapists, and how can we foster stronger communities?
Oh man. So I have a whole story, right? I believe like when I got out of massage school, like I really lacked in my community until I felt the stress that I needed it, right? So I knew I was going through a lot of struggles, especially as a Black massage therapist. I'm in a small town, right,
Right.
where it's not a lot of us that,
Okay.
and I believe that we need to find people who have your back. You need a backbone, right?
Right.
So I remember this one lady, I really wanted to start my business and I was so afraid. And I remember watching Pastor Todd. You know who Pastor Todd is?
Yes, I do.
Crazy Faith. And all of a sudden, I don't know how in the world I end up calling her. And I was just like, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So we're just talking about like expanding like our mindset and everything. And this is why it's very important to find somebody who is not on your level, but higher,
Right.
right? Someone to look up to. And so I really looked up to her. And she just said, I'm expanding my practice. And I was like, well, I just want to start my practice. And she was like, well, if you ever need any help, just let me know. And I was just like, oh, okay. So a week later goes by, right? And I finally get my space. I don't have any furniture. I'm like, okay, so I'm looking around like, okay, I know I can go on Facebook Marketplace. So
Right.
I go on Facebook Marketplace, I'm just scrolling, right? And I'm getting kind of depressed because I'm looking at the prices and I'm looking at this don't look good, this don't look worthy. God said, call her. What? Call her. I'll call. And she said, did you not see the Facebook post? I said, of what? She said, somebody just sold their massage business and they have a bunch of equipment. I
Oh.
looked at this address. And so I told my husband, I said, we got to pack up the cars. So we got like the kids in the back seat, and I get there first. And I met up with, I'm not sure if anybody knows who Felicia Brown is, but I went to her house and she had two big pods full of equipment and supplies. And she
Wow.
said, what do you want? And I said, I want this, that, and maybe that. She said, oh, okay, well, somebody already paid for it. What? Come again? She said, yeah, somebody paid for this. So if you want something else, I can like just bring it to like 50% off.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
wow.
So I bought like 4 tables that day. I bought like a lot of stuff.
So they paid for you before you even got there. That's what you're saying.
And that's why it's very important for this business grant, right? Because it's like free money,
It's free
right?
money.
It's free money. And if you have a dream that is just itching, go after it. Go after that business grant. But when I called the lady and she said, did you get everything you wanted? And I said, yeah, just for today. I know she got a lot of stuff and I can't fit it in my car. She said, well, just come to my office right quick. I said, oh, okay. So I'm over here driving and I just remember thanking God and I looked back and there was a mirror right here.
Hmm.
And I looked back and I just kept seeing myself and all the stuff in my car. And I just started crying. I was just like, God, you said show up. So I go
Amen.
to her office, right? And she's pulling out more stuff out of her SUV. And I was just like, her name is Sharon. I said, Miss Sharon? Yes. I said, why? And she said, I know how it is.
We all
And she
been there.
and I started crying like a baby.
Hmm.
So we had like this intimate moment where, we were talking about business and how she first started off, and I was asking her questions. And I think that is just so important to have somebody who is willing to be vulnerable with you.
Hmm.
So always find a community that can be vulnerable instead of asking for money if you need advice for it. You
Right.
need somebody who's going to be down on your level
Hmm.
that
No,
just
that's a good
comes back
story.
and picks you up.
Are
Yeah.
you still in contact with Miss Sharon?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Is she local to you?
She's in Greensboro, so maybe like an hour and a half from me.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
good.
Um,
Good. Does
so,
Miss Sharon know about the conference?
yeah, Sharon knows about the conference,
Okay.
and I mean Felicia, she's a white lady, but she knows about it too.
Yeah, we accept, we have people who's white as vendors and exhibitors at
Oh,
the
okay, okay,
conference. And
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
nice.
And also donors. We have a lot of donors who they're like, I understand I can't attend, but I wanted to do something. And so we just gave them our donation link and people's been donating. So we definitely been blessed with people who's been donating. Just, it doesn't even have to be, it could be like $25. All
Hmm.
monies go towards the conference because this
Yeah,
is not an easy or cheap thing to do,
right.
especially being a small business, right? So my plan wasn't to be a person who put on conference. I'm not an association. And so,
Hmm.
so everything that is being done or being paid for is being paid for by the people and also people who's donating to the conference. So that's a blessing.
Yes.
Hello, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share our 419 Education and Training Need to Connect podcast. All right, so because you are the TMJ specialist, tell me about any trends you see in the industry in regards to TMJ being taught, and also in the, like, I know I didn't know about that being a specific class to take early on in my career. So tell us about, why do you think it's important, and do you see any changes between culturally about TMJ issues?
So, no, I wouldn't say anything like culture wise, but far as just doing like cupping on the face, I've seen, gua sha, I've seen cold stones, I've seen different tools that you could use in different TMJ courses. So I would say, like, I wouldn't say there's like a trend per se. I think it's just more so the tools that you could use on your everyday clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a super big trend or anything like that. It needs to be,
Okay.
because after like COVID, we started to rely on devices. So when
Right.
we're looking down, we're automatically clenching, and people wonder why they're having headaches. So everybody could benefit from TMJ massage therapy.
Okay. No, I
Yeah.
agree. So, do you believe being a Black massage therapist impacts your practice and relationships amongst with your clients?
It could go 50-50. It could go a disadvantage and an advantage. I remember like 2 months ago, someone like just asked me out the blue, how is it being Black in America? I was just like, what? This
One of
is
your
like
clients asked you, were they on the table?
why they're on the table. And
Just
they were from
randomly.
Germany.
Oh, they're from
And
they're from a different country, so
yeah, yeah. But I
they
mean,
look online and see what we go through. But go ahead. Sorry.
this is interesting. So I was just kind of startled, like, who asked that? But he was like, I'm just curious. Like, is that wrong to say? And it was just like, when he said that, I was just spilling stories after stories. And then I felt like, did I say too much? Are they
Right.
watching me? But I kind of explained how, like, not just a massage therapist, but a person in general, when you have a family group, like a family text, like, hey, you can't go down this street or you can't go down this city because the KKK is, stopping people, because I've been through that. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's why we made a family chat,
Okay.
because I remember back in 2016 when I worked at Massage Envy, they were in Mebane, North Carolina, and they were stopping like everybody on the highway. And I remember having my own experience crossing the border from Louisiana to Texas, and they had an 18-wheeler, and they were just stopping Black people, and they said, oh, you can't pass. And they were just letting all the white people go. And
What
my
you mean
sister
the
was
18-wheeler was stopping? So you
pissed.
on the highway?
Yes, it stopped everybody. So they blocked
Did they
it.
block the highway, like the
Yes,
section? So you're on the highway going this way. An
yes,
18-wheeler stopped.
exactly. Exactly. And so my sister was brave enough. Okay. I said my sister is brave to this day, but she was scared.
Right.
And so I said, what are we going to do? And she said, I'm going to go around. And I said, you sure? She said, yeah, I'm going to go around. So we went in the ditch, came around, and then all the KKK members had pickup trucks, right?
Right.
And so they're following us. And they were saying, you're going to die. You're going to die, nigger bees. And I don't know if I can cuss on here, but you understand the
Yeah,
imagery.
yeah, we get it.
And so those are the things that we go through on a day to day. Okay. And our clients don't know the things that we face. We pretty much walk in fear, to be totally honest, especially most of our Black men.
Mm-hmm.
Because even with my husband as a massage therapist, Okay, so let me give you the backstory on this one. We used to do
Really
mobile.
quick, but before you go through, what happened? Did y'all get through this 18 wheeler, or did you have to turn around? Can you turn around? I don't know what type of highway this was.
So this was on I-20, or yeah, I think it was I-20. So we went into the ditch and went around the 18 wheeler, and that's how we ended up like
And
just
then,
trucking.
and then you just gassed it.
We gassed it, and we were in a Corolla too, so it
Girl,
don't go that fast.
you had to.
And it was a 2005 at that point. I was like, oh, come on.
Ooh, you had Jesus surround you. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just
Exactly.
wanted you to kind of finish the story so people like, but what happened? I mean, obviously you
Yeah.
guys are still here, but
Yeah,
that is scary.
it is.
All right,
It
so
really is.
so now you're gonna tell the story about Milton. What happened
Yeah.
with him?
Yeah, so I mean, as a black man, he was doing mobile massage, right? And it
What
was
type of
this
massage?
mobile.
Oh, mobile massage. Okay.
Yeah. So he went to someone's house and he knew some of the red flags that was going on, but he worked for a company, so he was just trying to get in and out, right?
What was one of
And
the tell people because some people who watching they might not know. So what was one of the
okay.
red flags?
So the red flags, the lady, she had like a robe on or whatever, and like half of herself was exposed.
Mm.
And they had offered them like drinks and stuff like that.
It
She
was
had like a friend.
was it a
Uh-huh.
cup? Was it? Oh, okay. So it was like a couple
It was a
massage.
couple. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it was two, a woman and a man,
It
or
was a woman and a man.
okay,
And then they had a friend randomly come. So I think they were supposed to get a massage and go to a concert afterwards. But
okay,
the friend, she needed to come in the house or whatever. Then the lady that was on the table that Milton was massaging was like, can you open the door for her? And then he had to do like extra stuff, and he couldn't really perform his duties. So
right.
he pretty much like kind of called her out. And then once she didn't like that, then the boyfriend or husband or whoever, he was a white guy and she was black. And so the white guy, he's over here like, okay, well, we can end the massage or whatever. He was trying to keep it cool and cordial. But the black lady, she was just like raising all hell. And she was like, well, you can get your table and get the F out of my house. And da, da, da. Yeah, it was that bad to where she was threatening him. He was threatening her. I was just like, oh Lord, right? Because she like exposed herself. So he called her out on it. It was just a whole nine. And so
My
then they
mouth is
called,
open for the
yes,
people
and then
who's
they had
listening.
called the cops on Milton saying he was raising hell.
Oh,
He was on his way out the door. And as soon as he got in the car, the white guy was trying to stop him from leaving. He was like in his window like this.
so what happened to the other person who was working
The
on
massage
the?
therapist, right?
Yes. Uh huh.
So they were asking her like inappropriate questions, but I'm not sure if she was like, she said she was gay or whatever, because they were asking her like, oh, since you're single, like, do you like white dudes and do you like this type of dude? She was just like, I'm gay. Like, I don't have any
Oh,
type
they
of
were
part
like
of that. So she was
They was
like
like
trying to,
swingers.
yeah. So she was just trying to lie her way so she could leave too.
Okay.
And so she was outside and she was trying to like calm everybody down, but she was just like, no, I don't got time for this. So I guess she had left. And so at that time, Milton said he saw like the cops, come in the cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
So they were in the cul-de-sac and they were talking to the white dude. And then after they talked to him, then they arrested Milton, didn't give him his rights, just threw him in the car.
Oh.
Yeah. And so at this time, it was like 11 o'clock or something like that. And I was just like, okay, Milton has not been home.
At
I'm a,
night?
yes. Like these mobile massages, they can go up to like 12 a.m. And
No.
yeah, no. And so I was just like, okay, this is not right. So I'm over here trying to text, call, nothing. I even put like a Facebook blast, like, we need help finding my husband. So I had the DJ that came out to the banquet last year. He helped. I had another massage therapist that helped find my husband, found out he was locked up. And I was just
They didn't
like,
even give him the
no,
call.
no, didn't give him nothing. And that's the thing, like had to get like lawyers and everything. It was a whole nine. And it's just like it's sad because you just never know what black males go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I contacted the board, we both contacted the board and they automatically took the client side, but you never read what I wrote down.
Okay.
So what I wrote down, I put it in bold, the names and everything like that. They said, well, what was the client's name and like what happened? I'm just like, I just told you,
Right.
it's just like you automatically took the client side. You never even reached out to the therapist. And I feel like some therapists get a bad rap because they don't investigate. And
Right.
so we need more investigators, massage investigators, because they have those.
I know different states obviously have their own boards, and in the board, they have people who do investigate when there's different cases that have been brought about. But I don't know, like, of standalone. That might be something if somebody's interested in
Hmm.
getting into of being like an independent investigator for these type of situations. But it's
Right.
sad. I was on Facebook a couple of days ago and I just saw somebody that says it was like a meme like all clients are not always right. Right, the client is not always right. And when I have my wellness center, that to be true because you have policies and procedures, and but people, because as a small business, they sometimes want to not follow those or think that, oh, it's just you and a couple of more people, it's not as bad as if they go to one of the bigger franchisees or like the hotels and spas. They know they have to stick to what the policy is. But with you,
Right.
you want to kind of operate in the gray. And I was like, I'll operate in the gray. And so if I did get a bad review, it was because they didn't want to abide by the policy. And then, it
Hmm.
was, I had to charge them.
Hmm.
No call, no show. I still have to pay for my therapist who's there, right? So,
Right.
yeah. So some things can be sad, sad and true. Sad and
Hmm.
true. That's why, having this type of conference, this, gathering, partnerships, collaborations, I feel like, it lacks overall in the industry because everybody's in their little 10 by 10, 12 by 12
Right.
space doing what they want to do or work. I'm going to work for me. I'm going to work for me. I'm going to work for me.
Right. Hmm.
And in my opinion, this is my opinion, I just think that's a selfish way of working. And if you have somebody who has like a facility like yours or like Latoya's, you should be wanting to work with someone who has that and have the good representation, or what's not representation, what I want to say, reputation, excuse me. If they have a great reputation, why not get under somebody like that or work with somebody like that? That's just my
Right.
opinion. And everybody wins. Everybody wins,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
That's what I
Yes.
think. That's what I think. So let's talk about how do you balance
Oh, look.
business, motherhood, being a wife.
Good Lord. Yes.
What else you do?
I do a lot.
Right.
Okay.
All the things
So,
that you made an announcement for at the beginning of the podcast.
Lord, balance, that's a tricky one. Okay. It was funny. Last year, my daughter studied the Tower of Pisa.
Okay.
And I always think of myself as the Tower of Pisa because it may lean, but it's still functioning.
Okay.
Okay. People still visiting that place.
That's
I don't know
funny.
how many centuries.
You got the
Okay.
gangster lean, but I'm
You got
still.
the gangster lean, right? But I'm still functioning. Okay.
Okay, I like that analogy.
And that's how I gotta see it because like everybody is gonna be different, everybody look different,
Mhm.
and that's what stands out the most.
Right.
And so for me, I know I wouldn't say I'm surviving, but you got to thrive in your day to day.
Right.
Okay, not every day is going to be peachy and cream. Like it's just like one day it's just like, man, I'm tired of this. God knows what, you know.
Right.
And for me, being a wife and a party of four, and having a three businesses and still trying to socialize and it takes some work you
Right.
know and I think that when I wake up in the morning well, we're not gonna say P Diddy, but
Right. Yeah.
but I need to meditate,
Okay.
and I think that makes me civilized.
I mean,
It makes me have sanity,
okay.
because I could lose all my you know, I ain't gonna say it, but y'all know,
Right.
because this person made me upset, or I'm in this situation and I don't think I can get out. But once you change like your mindset and you start writing down your checklist, you need a checklist, to be totally honest. I got so much stuff I have to do.
Right.
And you make a role for everything. Then I believe that you will accomplish having more balance in your life and having energy alignment, because it starts with, like Benny said, taking action. You got to take action.
Right.
And once you set your intention and you take action, you'll have the positive outcome that you've always been looking for. So, yeah. So that's my
I love
nickname.
that. Tower of
It's,
Pisa. I'm gonna start calling. What's up, Pisa?
what's up?
People are like, what you talking about? I'm like, no. If you listen to the podcast, you would have known.
Exactly. Yep, that's my new name.
That is good. All right, so we're going to end on this note. Is there anything that you would like to give to any new massage therapists in the industry? Any advice you would like to give to students in the industry or
Hmm.
about to enter our industry?
Oh, yeah. Please don't graduate school and just be stuck in that room. Okay. That dark room can swallow your voice, it can swallow your dreams and your talents. Because I feel like we need, like you said, we need community. We need to collaborate. And my thing was, I was working. I was young. I just got out of high school, did massage school. So they gonna work you to the bone. And then if you want to start your own business, you don't know. I mean, you really don't know about business, right? Because you haven't really studied business. Like you just took that one little course or whatever.
Right, right,
And people want to just start their own business. I want to be on my own, but they don't know like the struggles.
right,
You don't know the pros and cons. You're like, I just want my own money. But that's the thing. Like, you might want your own money, and if you chasing money, you're going to be losing your passion.
right.
So I want everybody to get connected to people they can look up to, like mentors and coaches. Yep.
I love that. I love that. So thank you so much, Ashley, for being on today's podcast. It was a great time as always, right? And so everybody, please remember to register for the conference. Remember, go to www.419education. Oops, that's the wrong one. But you can go there too, 419education.com. I have classes and CEs for you. But for the conference, www.blackmassagetherapist.com. We look forward to seeing you. And thanks again, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.